Disney's legal team probably hates that these emails exist, and for a good reason. The leaked files show a level of nitpicking that would make anyone go crazy. We're talking about a full-scale battle over words like crud and names of restaurants. Everyone is obsessed with the show's mysteries, but the biggest mystery was how it even got on the air. And that's putting it lightly because some of these notes are pure gold. You are about to see the private war that almost ended the mystery of Gravity Falls before it started. When Gravity Falls first started, Alex Hirsch was excited to bring his weird childhood memories to life. But he quickly realized that Disney had a department dedicated to watching his every move. This group is called Standards and Practices, or S&P for short. Their job is to make sure nothing offensive gets on the air. But as the leaked emails show, their definition of offensive was out of this world. In September of the year 2011, they sent a note about a character saying poop face. They claimed it sounded too much like a bad word that people say when they are angry. Alex was stunned. He replied that he had never met a single person on Earth who would be offended by a cartoon saying poop face. He refused to change it, and this was just the beginning of a long fight. Then came the restaurant battle. There was an owl-themed restaurant in the show called Hoo Ha's Jamboree. Censors sent an email saying that they heard that hoo ha was a slang term for a part of the body. Alex had to explain to grown adults that it actually means excitement or a big commotion. It is a real word in the dictionary, but the censors were so worried about hidden meanings that they almost missed the joke. See, the thing is, these people were looking for problems that did not exist. It makes you wonder how any show gets made when the people in charge are this worried. Alex kept the name because he stood his ground. He knew that the context was just a silly place for kids to eat pizza, but the censors were not done yet, and their next target was even more confusing. One of the most famous leaks involves a simple t-shirt. There was a drawing of a chubby dog with the words "Chub Pup" written on it. You would think a cute dog would be safe at Disney, but you would be wrong. The censors sent a note saying that the word chub had a bad connotation. Alex was losing his mind at this point. He told them it was just a picture of a fat dog and nothing else. But the email chain shows that the bosses actually pushed this issue up the line to higher executives. They were terrified that parents would think a cartoon dog was being inappropriate. Eventually, Alex had to give up and offer new names like Tub Pup or Chubby Pup Pup. He even wrote in the email that he could not believe he had to spend his time doing this. This kind of nitpicking happened every single day. They even went after a girl named Wendy for saying the word crud. They thought it was too close to a vulgar term. Alex started to feel like his life was becoming a joke. Every time he wanted to use natural language, he had to write a 3-page essay defending it. It was like they wanted the characters to talk like robots instead of real teenagers. The crazy part is that when they were worried about fat dogs, they were also blocking things that actually mattered to the fans. The battle for real characters was about to get much more serious than a t-shirt. What most people do not realize is that the biggest fight was not about slang or dogs. It was about who the characters were allowed to love. For years, fans noticed that Sheriff Blubbs and Deputy Durland were very close. They always hung out and clearly cared for each other. But every time Alex tried to show them being affectionate, the emails came flying in. One note from the year 2011 specifically asked him to make their relationship look comical instead of flirtatious. They basically told him to keep them as buddies and nothing more. Alex famously replied by telling them to chill out. Years later, Alex revealed that he actually had an email where Disney explicitly banned him from having any same-gender couples in the show. He wanted to show two old ladies kissing in an episode called The Love God, but the censors told him it was not appropriate for the audience. They even threatened to cut the scene themselves if he did not change it. This was a huge blow to his creative freedom. He felt that the happiest place on Earth was actually the straightest place on Earth. He eventually snuck a confession of love into the final episode, but it took years of fighting. It shows how much the industry has changed, but also how much work it took to get there. Even with the romance blocked, the censors found a way to be afraid of a simple limerick. The supernatural elements of the show were always going to be a problem for a conservative company. In an episode called Headhunters, a character mentioned the name Lucifer. The censors immediately sent a note saying they were not okay with that word. They were terrified of getting complaints from religious groups. Alex wrote back a very long and sarcastic email. He pointed out that the devil is not real and that Disney theme parks already have scenes of fire and brimstone. He even suggested that if people complained, Disney should just send them a Mickey-shaped cookie and tell them to be quiet. He was tired of being held hostage by people who might get offended by a ghost story. The emails also show they were worried about a joke involving a chimpanzee. They said they had to check with a special animal consultant to see if it was okay to show a chimp being thrown through a basketball hoop. They also hated the name Salacious Moncow because the word salacious was too adult. Alex told them to reread their own notes out loud because they sounded so ridiculous. Then there was the party flyer that said bottles will be spun. The censors thought this implied a kissing game and told him to remove it. In a move of pure genius, Alex replaced the line with the words "not S&P approved." The censors actually approved that version, which means the joke stayed in the show forever. It was a rare win for the creator in a sea of confusing demands. Everything seemed to be under a microscope, but the biggest mystery was still hidden in the fine print. Looking back at these thousands of notes, it is a miracle that Gravity Falls turned out as good as it did. Alex Hirsch described the process as haunting because it never stopped. He was constantly fighting to keep the show feeling like a real place with real people. He had to use US measures of patience just to get through a single week. The leaked emails serve as a case file for anyone who wants to know what it is really like to work for a giant corporation. It's not always about the art, sometimes it's just about making sure nobody sends a mean letter to the main office. The thing is, I wonder if we are still missing some key details. There are probably thousands more emails that we will never see. Alex saved these specifically to show the world the truth on the show's 10th anniversary. He wanted people to know that the show that they love was a result of a massive struggle. It makes you look at every joke and every character a little differently. You start to see the hidden battles in every scene. Is this still happening today in our favorite shows, or have things actually gotten better? It's a question that many fans are still asking as they rewatch the series. What do you think the most ridiculous thing Disney tried to ban in the show? Does knowing about these secret battles change how you feel about the characters? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this look into the secret files of Gravity Falls, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button for more deep dives.